Hello everyone, my name is Hakeem and this is a video of my grade 11 computer science final project. Essentially, I've built a web API that accepts a document of a graded photo. The API interprets the photo by searching for the student's name, the student's grade. So if the grade is represented as a letter, it converts it to a percent, like level 4 would be 90%. It would also display the course code, like ICS3U, and the topic of the test. I'll be testing out 4 images. 2 of them are my physics test, one of them is my chem quiz, and the last one is a picture of my class notes, so there is no grade that exists. I've created 2 links, one that is for my personal use called localhost 8081, so it can only be accessed by me, and the other link is called hakeem.deploywithme. This link can be used by anyone and was a component part of my if I had extra time section in my project proposal that I was able to add. I'd basically cloned the entirety of my program and connected it to a system that, as long as it was open and running, the link would work. So let's test out the first physics test. So this is what it looks like. So I've got a level 4 plus, and a level 4 plus is converted to a 98%. The name should be Hakeem. The topic of the test should be kinematics, and the course code should be SPH3U. Now this was a picture of my original interface. And as you can see, it was quite bland and lacked a lot of visual creativity. Now this is my actual interface. As you can see, I've incorporated visual elements on my website through learning HTML and CSS, 2 languages that I've never learned or used before. The interface includes the program instructions, program overview, and program information. There's also a theme button where you can go retro, cyberpunk, Valentine, or aqua. Doesn't really matter. So let's choose the file of the first physics test. Once we choose the file, we submit it. And so we get the result page where I get the student name, my percentage, the course code, and the topic of the test. So if I go to my VS Code real quick, essentially what happened was that I was at my index.jsp, which was the original interface, and we got redirected to the results.jsp. So I'll talk about this further into the video. So now I'll go over the second test. In this case, it should be a level 4. My name should stay the same, the topic should switch, and the course code should stay the same. So let's go back. Let's choose a file, physics test 2, and we submit it. So the name, the grade, I got a 4, so it would have been a 90%. I got the course code and then the title of the test. Now we'll test the chem quiz. In the chem quiz is a 4 plus. The course code switches, the name stays the same, and that's pretty much it. Now if I want to submit a file that I haven't chosen, so let's just say I go here and I do submit. It asks you to select a file. So let's say I do the chem quiz and I submit. So I get my name, the grade, the course code, and the title of the quiz. So now I'll test out the no grade one, which is just basically my class notes. So it should return no grade was found. Okay, excellent. So now I'll give you all a brief overview of the actual code, starting with the main servlet. So this is one of the primary pieces of the back end of the program. Servlets are basically little helpers on a website that take your request and give you what you need, like a waiter in a restaurant. They handle the server-side logic, processing the uploading files, sending them to the Vision API, and handling the responses. The main takeaway from this component is my prompt to GPT-4, or ChatGPT-4, which is the Vision API I decided to choose. I essentially gave it a set of conditions. So let me just format this real quick. Here we go. So I basically gave it a set of conditions. So I gave it the scale. So what a 4 plus, 4 minus, 3 plus, and so on and so forth would be in a percentage. I also told it to, search for the course code, search for the topic of the test, search for the student name and the grade, and then also how Vision look like. So separated by a comma, it's not like in a table format. And then if the person did not get a grade, so then I'm accounting for different possibilities, then return no grade was found, like we saw in the previous example. Or if there are multiple parts that are on the test, then show each part and show what they got on each part. One of the main front-end elements of my project is the pom.xml file. This file acts like a recipe book for building a Java project. It tells the computer what ingredients, like libraries and tools, are needed and how to mix them together to make the project work. The file will define the project dependencies, plugins, and other built-in configurations. This is my README file, which contains critical information on commands that I use constantly, like maven tomcat 7 run. This command tells Maven to essentially deploy or initiate the web application. Maven is a tool that helps put together and manage your projects so that they don't get mixed up or lost. So every time I close VS Code and I want to access my website again, I have to run this command in the terminal right here. And if I just press if I do Control C, this stops this actually restarts the server. And when I press the up arrow, which is the most recent command, I just run it. And if there's no errors, this is what should be popping up. Another critical element of my program was the use of Postman. So Postman is a software that essentially helps developers test and manage APIs, which are application programming interfaces. It's used for developing, testing, and documenting APIs. So here's a little bit about what it looks like. This is the website for the results.jsp. We've got the HTTP request methods like post, get. So, yep. Okay, well, that wraps up this video. Thank you all for watching. And if you're curious on the specifics of my code, then you can visit the link to my GitHub, which I've connected all my code to. Right here. So you've got the VS Code, the source, the README file, the hello IML, and the pom.xml file. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening.